Megan Hicks of Iron Far. I'm with Ryan Smith. It's the day after the 2021 Hardrock 100. You're the men's third place finisher. Congratulations, Ryan.
Yeah, thanks a lot. It was 3 years in the making, so probably have never thought about a race for this amount of time before. It was finally just a relief to toe the start line, I guess. Yeah.
And you say this is 3 years in the making because you were drawn.
Yes.
In the lottery for the 2019 race, which never happened.
Yeah, it actually worked out okay that the snow year cancelled it because I was signed up for level at the time. So probably doing both of those is kind of a challenge for me. I don't typically race a ton. So actually that worked out great and I had a good race at level. So it was a shame, obviously, last year being a bit of a disaster. A lot of training and not much racing, but yeah, it was kind of nice to have a break, I suppose, and finally get to line up at the start line and kind of get it done after thinking about it for so long.
In my opinion, you have to be one of the most under talked about American ultra runners. This is Iron Far's first interview with you, even, which I'm really embarrassed about. You have a ton of accolades: top 10 at UTMB, wins at big hundreds around the U.S.
Yeah.
I even noticed you, looking back in Iron Far's results, you were in the top 10 North Face 50 years ago.
Yeah, I forgot when that was, maybe. Yeah, I've been racing for a long time, maybe ultras for 12, 13 years or something like that. But really, I've always been a runner my whole life, so 30 plus years of racing, mostly cross-country, off-road. I do a lot of road marathons as well, so kind of any type of running event I really enjoy. But yeah, I just a hobby jogger, amateur, I guess. But I take it somewhat seriously, but not too seriously.
I'm going to have to say not quite to that.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, I kind of, I guess I found the 100 milers a bit later in my career, I suppose. And it kind of seems to fit pretty well. I'm pretty good at suffering, embracing the misery, so to speak. I do pretty well on that, and so I kind of favored that a little bit. And I like great courses, so things like Hardrock, High Lonesome UTMB, just ones that get you in the mountains, and that helps me kind of wrap my head around it and kind of just get after it and try to do as best I can.
Since this is our first interview with you, I'd love to be able to know a little bit of your backstory. You got an accent. You're Scottish by birth?
Yep. I was born in Scotland, kind of grew up north of London, went to university in Edinburgh, and then started working in London for several years, and then moved to the US maybe, I kind of lose track now, 16 years ago, I think it is. Yeah, so I just became a citizen 2 years ago, I think it was. So I'm kind of dual nationality now. But yeah, like I say, I kind of run a bunch in my university club, so I was involved there. More on the social side, I was a pretty good drinker, so I think that helps.
Maybe not so helps much for ultra running too.
Yeah, it probably does. Yeah, not so. Yeah, so I was probably in the B team or something in Edinburgh, which is good enough for me. And then I kind of was running in London a bit, and then I worked in New York where I met my wife, and we kind of ran with a group there, and that's how we met. And then we moved to kind of Boulder, Colorado, maybe 10 years ago or so. Yeah, and that's just lifestyle change. Wanted to be near the mountains. That's kind of how we ended up here.
Yeah, and we got to see at the finish line and around the aid stations your daughter. You have a daughter.
Yeah. She's about 3.5, just going to be 4 in September, actually. So yeah, she's getting very familiar with sitting around waiting at aid stations very early on in her career.
Start them young.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hopefully she can pace me at some point if I'm still running. When exactly? Yeah, I'm going to do this till I'm like 80. So.
Oh man. Let us all hope our knees and hips and ankles and feet hold together.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's a few niggles here and there, but yeah, luckily things seem to be holding together for me. So,
okay, so let's talk about Hardrock. Race started. You went out hot. You went out with the leaders, eh?
I actually thought it was pretty reasonable pace.
Really?
For me,
even for Hardrock?
Yeah, I think I'm used to maybe some like UTMB where it's just like suicide pace from the gun.
Okay.
And usually I go out hot anyway. I like to cause some trouble and just make people work hard.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I just I'm good at holding on. I think is my skill. And just being kind of in the misery. So that kind of works well. So I usually go out pretty hot. So this is actually probably in terms of the big ticket races, maybe the most casual start.
Okay.
I think, yeah. So I didn't think it was, too reckless or crazy. It felt pretty comfortable.
Did you kind of then look around at the guys around you and been like, let's go?
Yeah, I mean, everyone around, obviously, I kind of expected that's who it would be. So it wasn't surprising. I ran maybe 50K with Dylan. So, which again, yeah, I thought maybe that's how it would shake out. And Francois he was there maybe for 12 miles or something, and then started to creep ahead a little bit. And that was fine, I'm not going to go toe-to-toe with Francois. So, I wasn't kidding myself. My goal was just really time-based in the race. Like, I had I like to finish within 24 hours of like any race. Otherwise it, violates a core principle or something. I like to get a beer and a shower at the end. So if I go over a day, it's, I won't be too happy.
So you went into Hardrock with a quite ambitious goal then to finish under 24 hours before sunrise.
Yeah, that was the goal. Like when I got in 3 years ago, I was like, it would be pretty cool to try and break 24 hours. I thought that would be kind of neat. And at UTMB, I'd run 23 hours, I think. And that was kind of on the longer course that they've only run a couple of times. So I figured it was maybe doable, a bit of a stretch. And then I just used Killian's splits and just because I didn't really have any other numbers or ideas. So I was like, well, if I'm somewhat close to that or, behind, that would be a good guide.
You'll be happy with that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So talk about the early miles, sort of maybe like, let's say the start out to Sherman, the first third of the race or so. It's a couple big burly climbs to start off and then some rolling terrain for a good long ways.
Yeah, it's, I really kind of enjoyed that bit. I think that's the most like, I know, atmospheric. It feels you're really isolated. I really kind of enjoy that section. So I was kind of enjoying it probably until about the descent from Pole Creek back down to Sherman.
Okay.
And then I started to just get a bit tired, or I don't know, maybe I was just going a little too gung-ho on the calories, I think. I probably just consumed a bit too much. So yeah, we got into Sherman, me and Dylan, and then he took off a little earlier while I was getting my things ready. And then I kind of still had him in my sights going up to Burrows, but I think from Burrows to Grouse was my low spot. And then I felt pretty kind of, it's like a pity party. I was just like, why do I do this? Like, this is my last race. The usual stuff that, you go through in every race.
I'm retiring.
Yeah, absolutely. I retire every race I do. I'm retired.
Actually, I'm retired now.
Absolutely. So yeah, it got into a bit of a pity party. And no matter how many times you do this, it's going to pass. In the moment, you're just feeling sad for yourself. And that was kind of my low point, I think, pretty early.
In all fairness, though, it was your low point. You were going over the course's high point and over 14,000 feet. So there might have been some reason for the pity party.
Yeah, totally. And, the weather changed as well a little bit. So it got kind of cold and it rained most of the way up Handies. The weather was looking a little dicey, but it turned out to be kind of quite nice, actually. But yeah, I was kind of a little cooked getting into Grouse. And I wasn't sure. I wasn't feeling super optimistic at that point.
So how'd that change, or when did that change? Where?
I'm not really sure like why or how. It just almost immediately as I left and started going up the road, I think just the road climb was I just needed maybe no rocks or something. Nice road to run up. Yeah, just to like run or something. Okay. Yeah, maybe that's what just tipped it. And as soon as I started up the climb, I just never looked back. My legs were fantastic the whole day. It never felt tired. Sometimes you dread the next climbs coming up, and I just never had that dread. I was like, yeah, let's do this. Let's get the next climb done.
So was it in the vicinity of Grouse where it was like pretty clear that there was a break between you and Dylan in front of you and guys behind you? Or where did that sort of where did you feel like you were in third man's land and sort of stayed there?
Yeah, I think it's honestly the story of my racing career is I'm always in no man's land with no one around me, and I might as well just not sign up for races and go run these things by myself. There's no one ever around. So yeah, it was pretty clear that
pay the money.
Yeah,
don't get to run with anybody.
yeah, and I didn't really take much from the aid stations either, other than some water. And there's a lot of streams, so I could have just filled up my, water bottles. So yeah, it's a very light touch to my racing.
Amazing.
I figured that, I was feeling good, but I knew if Dylan was feeling good, he's probably not going to come back to me. So I was just trying to keep the gap kind of reasonable, because I think if he has a great day, he's just one of the best mountain runners out there. Same with Francois. So, I just wanted to not do anything rash and run my race. Yeah. So I was just kind of thinking about the splits. And and I don't like to have too much information because I just run by feel.
Yeah.
But I asked a couple of times if I was close, and I think that helped because I was pretty much hitting the numbers that I needed, and that kind of helped, I guess, motivate me a bit. But yeah, I figured that's how it would play out if I didn't screw up.
For a lot of people, this direction, some of the challenges come around Ouray because it's like evening, it's warmer.
Yeah.
It's like the altitude has hit you. How was the Ouray section, like Camp Bird Road and stuff for you?
I mean, I'm probably the only one looking forward to Camp Bird Road.
You and Sabrina Stanley, she liked it too.
Yeah, no, I love that stuff. I think that really helps me. I think this direction helps me because I do a lot of like road miles, and I just love running uphill slowly forever. So like I figured actually if I could.
Who are you?
Yeah, it's honest. There's no hiding from it.
Yeah.
And I think if it's really the part, if you look at it, that you can make a difference on. If you can really run a lot of that section, you bang out a lot of miles. And I think it just like feeds into itself. You feel kind of like a hero running up Camp Bird Road, even though it's like, I don't know, 13-minute pace or something, but like you just feel good about it, And again, I think it's just nice because you can run next to your pacer at the time. So there's a bit of chit-chatting and just, it was kind of easy running. So like a lot of the course is very technical, and some of it's like, it's just hard to even follow the trail. You're like, somewhere under this foliage is a trail. But
I put my feet down and hope they land on something.
There was a lot of hoping that, it wouldn't go down a hole or something. So Camp Bird just felt like a nice break actually mentally that I could just kind of tune out and just run. So I kind of enjoyed that. That was a nice section for me.
And then where did nighttime arrive for you?
We just... I think one goal of mine was to get to Kroger's and without using a headlamp.
Okay.
So we got there and I knew a bunch of the people working the aid station there. So that was like kind of a high point, we could like high five and, I could make my pacer drink some mezcal. Oh yeah.
Who was your pacer?
Cordis Hall.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that was kind of fun. And he's buddies with those guys as well. So that was kind of a fun thing. So just over the edge of that, maybe 10, 15 minutes after that, we put our headlamps on.
Wow. By that point, did you start to have the feeling like this is going to turn out okay for me? I mean, if your goal was to get to the mile, what is that, 68 or
I was really
65 high point, you got there on your splits.
Yeah.
You're not using your headlamp. Are you thinking in your head, this is going to be a good day?
Yeah, I think so. I think even earlier than that, like the section out of Ouray, I just felt good on the road.
Okay.
And the climbing kind of came easy to me. I just kind of put my hands on my knees and just powered up, and I was almost enjoying it. It's sad to say, running up these like super huge climbs. But I just kind of was in the zone, wasn't in too much discomfort, and I was looking forward to the climbs. So
Can you talk about the night a little bit? What was it like being out there, and who paced you?
Yeah, I had two paces. So my friend Pete Newton paced me from Grouse to into Ouray.
Okay.
And then Cordis took me the rest of the way,
Oh,
basically.
wow.
Yeah, he's running TDS, so he wanted some a training run.
He got a good training run.
Totally. So he had a good time as well. Yeah, and it was just really enjoyable actually. And we're both pretty good at downhill runners, so I think that kind of helped that we just got in the zone on the downhills.
Got it.
And we could just kind of unleash a little bit and cruise down, and that was kind of fun, So and it was just really nice. It was like fresh. And I think luckily a lot of the smoke that we've had here has kind of dissipated. I think that would have been pretty miserable.
Oh, yeah.
So we got kind of lucky that dissipated a bit. And it was just nice. Temperature was perfect. I just had a t-shirt on the whole time, which is kind of incredible.
Yeah.
It got a little cold, like maybe on the last climb. But
Okay.
other than that, the night was really kind of great, actually.
What was it like to arrive back to Silverton, having met your goal, finishing third place, setting a master's course record?
Yeah.
All of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's always when you've been thinking about something for so long, I think it's just like relief is what you feel that you were able to kind of execute, the plan, and that kind of takes a toll. For me, it's always the emotional toll is more than the physical toll. Like I'm always like physically, I'm ready to go again quite quickly, but just like it takes a while to build that up and to really to put that investment into like thinking about an objective for so long.
Yeah.
So it's like just relief I think is the main one. And it's nice that kind of I'm in the older category now, so like if I'm not going to feature and win things, I can at least like grab a master's record or something.
Well, and a podium position.
Yes,
Come
exactly.
on.
Yeah. And then I think another goal was just to make the top 10 list, which hopefully I'm just in there now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I just wanted, you know, that on the leaderboard to have my name on there.
There I am.
Yeah.
Do you have other running plans this year?
Nothing concrete. The only one I've actually got is the CIM Marathon, Sacramento.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a little different from Hardrock.
Just the opposite.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm hoping I might get a PR there. That's the plan.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't literally get to watch your race this time because I was out running, but it was super fun for me to get reports from forward on the course.
Cool.
And yeah, just hear you ripping it up and just being like solidly top three all the way through. That was awesome.
Yeah, I think just being steady kind of wins the day usually. You know, no kind of like fanfare, and it just sometimes the races that are the most uninteresting are the best ones. You know, when there's no drama. They just go well.
So are you saying you kind of like to be like the underdog and the quietly talked about one?
Yeah, I think, you know, I like that. That's kind of suits my personality. I just kind of like to get it done without too much, you know, fanfare around it. Yeah.
Sorry, we still have to publish this interview.
I know, yeah. Damn, the cat's out. I'll go back to road racing. There I'm kind of subpar, so.
Amazing. Well, congrats to you on your podium finish at the 2021 Hardrock. I look forward to seeing what you race next.
Okay, thanks so much, Megan.